Hello everyone and welcome to today's installment of Beyond the Mask. In today's episode I'm going to be touching upon Scream 6. More specifically, we're going to be taking a look at Sidney Prescott, former lead character of the Scream franchise, and touching upon the reason that she won't be showing up to face Ghostface once again in Scream 6. Earlier this year, it was officially announced that former lead of the Scream franchise, Neve Campbell, would be taking a step back from playing Sidney Prescott. This left fans with the curious question of, how will they explain her absence from the movie? The character has already taken a backseat from the franchise in Scream 2022, with the torch seemingly being handed to Sam Carpenter. With a new wave of attacks, how will Sidney be written out of the story? What explanation will be given for her lack of involvement in the last movie, despite, if the promotional pictures are to be believed, the obvious callbacks to previous Ghostfaces? Sit back and relax as I reveal to you the rumoured, the likely, and the less likely way that Sidney will be written out of the franchise. The departure of Sidney Prescott from the Scream franchise is always going to be a divisive decision, no matter how it's tackled in the latest installment. The character is well loved and respected by fans, with many watching to see her story in particular progress further. Sidney herself has had an impressive character arc, specifically during the initial Scream trilogy. So with Neve's decision not to return, the writers behind the latest movie need a solution to explain Sidney's absence. For this video, I'd like to explain what the rumours are, and they are just that, alongside my own theories on how they'll explain her absence with the most likely to least likely possibilities. One of my first personal theories on how I believe she'll be written out is by her being placed in the protection scheme off screen. The first promotional picture seemingly indicates a visit from Ghostfaces of the past, which actually would reach Sidney directly. It seems more likely to me that she'd be involved in an attack that didn't directly link to her, like the 2022 attacks, as opposed to the one that could potentially be harmful to her and her own family. I don't believe she'd want to put her family at risk. After all, she only returned in 2022 following Dewey's death. A second theory is that she simply isn't the target despite the callbacks, and instead is considered an untouchable character. One the killer wouldn't go after due to the amount of times Sidney has defeated Ghostfaces previously. My theory with this situation leans more into the belief that maybe the killer will gain a huge advantage with her not being around, but eventually face her in a potential sequel which could see her brought back if the killer survives the first outing in Scream 6. A third theory I have is that Sidney may be specifically asked to stay out of the newest events by Mark Kincaid. Sidney herself confirmed that she and Mark married in Scream 2022. Despite being a homicide detective, Mark knows all too well the severity of the Ghostface attacks. Would it be entirely unbelievable to assume he wouldn't want his wife involved in the attacks? A fourth theory is that Sidney is possibly attacked or called by Ghostface off screen during the events of Scream 6, meaning the character will still technically be targeted, but we won't be seeing it actually on screen. If Sidney is attacked off screen, the news reaching the characters of Scream 6 could come as a devastating blow. The idea that this Ghostface has already attacked Sidney shows he means business, with the audience completely unaware of what happened or Sidney's fate. A fifth theory is that the character isn't going to be addressed or mentioned at all, with her just being brought up in passing with regards to the Stab franchise. Now that I've shared my theories, I'd like to tell you what the rumours are surrounding Sidney's departure. There's likely no truth to this, however, it's something that has been stated online and I'd like to touch upon it. Allegedly, Sidney is contacted during the events of 6 by Gale Weathers and goes into hiding almost instantly. If this is in fact the case, I feel it's a good way to explain her absence. Her putting her kids first is a clear example of where Sydney's headspace is in 6 and makes perfect sense in terms of the character's development. I'd like to repeat, however, this isn't confirmed, it is just a rumour. Which of these do you believe is the most likely to be true? Share your thoughts below. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, Sydney this and Sydney that, Sydney, Sydney, Sydney.